What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. This one is entitled The Undervalued Father and Husband. America is funny about this. Because when it comes to parenting, relationships, marriages, divorces, family court, the father and the husband are undervalued. And I'm going to tell you why. Because America is a capitalist society. It's all about money. Money validates your importance for some odd reason. So what winds up happening is a man's money is valued, and women and children, for some odd reason, are conditioned to cling to, the money. And then as life goes on, they learn retroactively the importance of the man because he was undervalued. You see, you go from I'm the mother and the father to the child and the mother and the child saying, I didn't know these things because I didn't have a father in my life. But they can't really say, but what they were clinging to the whole time was the child support. Because if you pay the child support, then they can't say, well, I paid child support, so what? Because you have certain people say, well, that ain't nothing. Well, here's the problem. Those are people who sometimes saw the benefit of a father before the father left, and they probably didn't want the father to leave. But the other people who wanted the father to leave, they can't say anything, because what winds up happening is they're like, well, he did give us the money and that's what we wanted. We didn't, but you there's so much more you could have done. Yeah, that's what he tried to tell you, but you was worried about that paper. So you didn't value his importance because of that paper. Same thing with husbands. A wife's, you don't know what that wife has done. Oh, she could have been taking care of the kids, and she could have budgeted the money properly, and she could have fed the kids good food, and she could have wiped their faces, and she could have potty trained the daughter, and she earned every one of those dimes. Well, here's the problem. If she earns spousal support, alimony, and a man has to pay spousal support and alimony, because she pays nothing back, she pays nothing to that man, you're saying that all of his contributions to the family were worthless. So you undervalue his worth. As a matter of fact, you're making him pay out for the worth of one party while actively keeping that, it's not necessarily the money, it's the idea that you're making a person pay you for your worth, but you never pay them back. Because they didn't obviously bring anything to the table that was worth you spending money to as a retroactive way of paying them for their services. See, husbands don't get paid for their services when a relationship's over. Because it's saying that they did nothing important in the first place. Family court for a child support, even though 9 out of 10 women win custody, it's not exactly the same way. Now they're lenient on the mothers who don't have custody. They're lenient on them paying child support. You know, whether y'all notice or not, this is what I mean by undervalued fathers. For fathers who have custody, it's pretty much a normal thing that either the woman pays a little bit, she doesn't pay at all. She's not going to jail for that. She's not a man, right? Or even the judges in the courts may deem like she shouldn't have to pay child support because she's a woman. That actually happens. Judges actually do that. So here we go. Another way to undervalue, fathers and husbands. And then when you use the same arguments in reverse, maybe that the woman brought home the baking, and maybe he took care of the kids, and he budgeted the money, and he cooked, and he cleaned the house, and he did the yard work, and that's he did all the things that the other partner should do. He's a man. He shouldn't have been doing that. And that ain't really nothing. Taking care of kids ain't worth all that money. He washed some dishes. So what? They got a dishwasher. He cleaned the house. Ooh. Vacuum cleaner. Mop. Wow. It's not like he had the Swiffer sweeper. Don't act like he was doing that much work. He cut the yard. Really? Was it a self-propelled lawnmower? Was it a riding mower? Was it one of the? It wasn't the old school ones where you just push and the thing chops and you out there like trying to get strong like these young boys, like boys back in the 50s and 60s. It wasn't that. So he ain't doing nothing. So even when you switch the scenario, he's a single father. He's working a job and going to pick his child up from daycare and putting his child in these activities. He's not a soccer mom, he's a soccer dad, and that's not. Come on now, really. Y'all act like it's so difficult. People do it all the time. It's not. Why does he need? What does he need compensation for? Her? Why does he need compensation from her for doing that? He's a grown man. He's an adult. But then you want men to take women seriously because women participate in this hypocritical argument. The same women that can find fault in a cheating man getting divorced and having to pay alimony can't find fault in a cheating woman that divorced. That wound up getting divorced and has to pay alimony to the husband. Can't do that. Completely different, even though it's the same thing. No fault divorce. Same way. But the guys because men, fathers and husbands are undervalued. But here's the kicker to me. When these men are gone from these families and these households and these people's lives, they start to see the value in the structure. They start to see the value in the discipline. They start to see the value in all of the little things that they overlooked because they thought it was normal. See, when you're around, and I'm going to go a little too far, because every man isn't great. But when you're around greatness, you begin to think it's easy. And because the person that you're around is great, they make greatness look easy because they've worked that hard to be great for so long. Now greatness is just a part of their daily routine. But you think you're great because you are in the company of greatness. So you think it's going to be easy for you too. It's not. Greatness isn't osmosis. It's not something that's contagious. Like, oh, they're great, so it made me great. It don't work like that. So when that greatness leaves, now the lack of that presence exposes you to the reality. See, now you know how to you didn't think you had protection with the person, with that father, that husband around you. And when he's gone, now you see how much protection you really had, because now you're scared. You realize situations aren't as easy to get into and get out of as they once were. You realize you can't, when you was mouthing off to people in public, and that man look at you and say, chill that out, and that man look at the other guy, I know, I'm working on it, but we'll move on. See, now when you mouthing off, and dudes like, what? Ain't nobody there to save you. That provider. Oh, I get this amount of money a month. That's cool. But where's that money going? What do I mean by that? See, that man worked so hard when he was in the house, you had to clean the house out of obligation. Now that he's gone, you got the money, you got it made. That man, he worked so hard, you had an obligation. Because maybe he did the yard work, now you got a landscape. He did the household fixtures and fixed things in the house. Now you got a contract. He put the snake in the sinks and the toilets. Now you got a plumber. He put up the ceiling fans in the house. Now you got to call an electrician. It wasn't just you got the money that he provided, but see, you had the money and the ability to save money because he was there providing his other services that save you money. Just saying. When your car broke down, he was able to decipher what it really was before you went to a mechanic and got played. You don't have that no more. You undervalued that. When you see, this is a good business opportunity, he's looking at the long term like, well, these are the obstacles you're going to have to face. These are the costs that they didn't tell you about. These are operating costs. These are how the losses you're going to take. This is the time frame it might wind up taking. This is the legwork you're going to have to put into, because it's not going to be the way that they're selling it to you. You got to do X, this, and this, and this is how much time it's going to take. And this is the effort that it puts in. And now this is the whole picture. Now look at it. It ain't just going to be overnight. That foresight makes you go, oh, but now you don't have that anymore. So now you're delusional, thinking everything gonna work out the way you feel like it, because you're just living in Disney in your mind, and now you've wasted a lot of your time, a lot of your energy on things that aren't productive, and sometimes you quit before they actually become productive, or you shouldn't have got involved with them in the first place, and now you've just wasted your resources because you undervalue that father or that husband. And the coup de grace to all of this is when you out meeting new men, you realizing the guy that you thought you can do good without, you can't find that many of him anymore. Problem. See, this is why a lot of women are frustrated, not just with the fathers and the husbands of life, the fathers of their children and the husbands that they not with anymore. This goes on with people that is just dating because, I could do better, and you out looking at guys and dealing with guys, and these guys aren't as good as the dude that you thought you could do better than. And then it ain't that easy. Now you ain't finding that guy that she's like, he ain't all that. Now he all that and then some. Because compared to what you left with, you up shit's creek. But that's because undervalued fathers and husbands. We out.